Hello, it's Marlena, wanting to talk about codependency in times of crisis. Now, as many of you know, codependency is all about losing yourself in a relationship, in relationships with other people. It's about prioritizing their needs above our own, forgetting about ourselves, within the wider context, and always focusing away from ourselves. Now, when you try to recover from codependency, it's all about learning to focus inwards, to equalize yourself with others. It's about learning to take care of yourself, learning to be more self-compassionate, learning to set boundaries with yourself and others, depending on, your values guided actions, the actions and behaviors you want to take to improve your life and your relationships. So all of this can be challenged when we enter times of crisis, which is unfortunately happening right now. It's all about learning to maintain the focus, to maintain the progress we have made during our recovery from codependency, even though there is a very strong pull away from that. Okay, so these times call for us to support other people, which is great, which is absolutely vital, and it's good. The problem is that we often mistake support for controlling, enabling, or self-sacrifice. And those are the three components I will focus on in this video. Because I think that if you can learn not to do any of those three, whether times are normal or times are tough, I think you have done a really, really big thing for yourself in terms of recovering and ending your codependency. So let's have a quick look at the first one, controlling. So control is a major trait in codependency. It's sometimes hidden. It's not something that we're consciously aware of some of the time, because we're telling ourselves we're just very kind people, and that is true. But there is a different way of looking at this, and when you have got a broader perspective, when you can see what behaviors can be perceived as controlling and therefore as disrespectful, it makes it easier to drop those behaviors. So for example, if you want someone to behave a certain way, and you're trying to do that directly or indirectly, or you try and manipulate them by resorting to certain actions or inactions, like not speaking to someone so that they give you what you want, that kind of stuff, it's controlling. It's not healthy, it's not kind, and it's not respectful. It will not get you what you want. It will just lead to more disconnection and more shame. So try and stay away from that. Even if you feel someone is in need, still be respectful. Ask them what they want and then respect their response. Obviously, if someone is in desperate need, they're unable to make rational decisions for themselves, then that is one of those situations where you have to be very practical in your mind and not act based on your codependency or your codependent conditioning. Okay, that is also the case for enabling. When we talk about enabling, it's about making someone's irresponsible or immature behavior possible by not setting boundaries, not enforcing consequences, all that kind of thing. So if you are at home, for example, with a partner who does not take care of themselves, but you do it for them, then that is called enabling. That is not supporting. Someone else has to do it themselves for you to support them. If you do it for themselves, you're not their partner, you become their parent, and that is an inherently unhealthy relationship dynamic that you want to try and get out of. So what that means is learning to push other people's responsibilities back towards them. Don't accept them, don't act on them. Let other people know that you're there to support them, but they have got to do, their job, their part of it. They have to take responsibility for it, so that you can stay responsible to yourself, which leads us on to the third component of self-sacrifice. In codependency, we think we're supporting others by neglecting ourselves, sacrificing ourselves, disregarding ourselves. That is not a healthy foundation for any kind of relationship. Eventually you will get drained, you will start to feel bitter and resentful towards them. They might start to take advantage, and the whole relationship dynamic goes sour and goes downhill. So to maintain healthy relationships, or to improve your relationship, you need to focus on yourself and self-care. That is a challenge in itself. It can be more challenging during difficult and tough times. So when you support someone else, of course there is a part of you give away, like your time, your energy. That's fine. It's like when you raise children, that is an inherent component of that. But it cannot be to your detriment. So that means it can't be that you don't have any time to look after yourself, but you continue to spend all of your time looking after other people. There has to be a time you reserve for yourself, where you set a boundary and you say, I need a break, I need some time to eat, I need some time to kind of calm my mind. That is looking after yourself. And you can do that even during difficult times. It might not be the most perfect situation, it might not be the perfect amount of time, but there are things you can do to help you look after yourself. So I guess what I would encourage you to do is to have a look at those three components, so controlling, enabling, and self-sacrificing, and identify that within your life. How did you do that in the past? How might you still be doing it now? Look at your relationships, what's happening in them, and then become very conscious of that process within your life today and spot it. Be like a detective. Observe yourself, observe your interactions, and be honest with yourself. You know, why are you doing this? Is this coming from your codependent conditioning, or is it coming from the part of you that wants to support others while also supporting yourself? So I hope that gives you some inspiration and gives you something to do. Take care of yourself, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.